Today is your introduction session. So you will introduce yourself one by one, and also I will ask you some questions related your 10th class and about your course. What did you study for the last 2, 3, or 5 days? Okay. So start with your introduction. So first of all, with Pratik, your introduction.
Good morning, sir, and all dear my friends. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. I am Pratik Meena, and I study in 10th standard at MP Police Public Higher Secondary School, Indore, MP. And
What is your school name?
MP Police Public Higher Secondary School.
Okay. Where do you study?
I study in Indore
So why are you studying here?
because
You are in Binagan. You study in Indore and you are doing classes here. Why?
of there is vacation for summer vacation.
Okay, summer vacation is going on. That's why you are here.
Yes,
So when will you go to Indore?
I will go after 5 or 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
After 5 or 4 days, you will go to Indore.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So next, introduction.
Hi, I am Prerit and I am going to tell my introduction. I live in Binaganj and I study in New Sunrise Convent School, Binaganj, and I study in 9th class. And
You study in 9th class.
10th class, sorry. I study in 10th class now, and that's all.
That's all. Okay. So, okay. So next.
Hello everyone, my name is Swapnil Meena. I am from class 10th and my school name is Angel Paradise Public School. I live in a small village near Binaganj town and my hobbies are,
What is your village name?
sir, my village name is Moikejra.
So, do you live in Binagan or do you live in Moi Khajra?
I live in village.
You live in village.
Yes.
So how do you come from there?
Sir, by car.
By car.
Yes, sir.
So do you drive car or
No, sir.
someone else?
No, sir, my father drives car.
Okay, your father drops you here
Yes, sir.
every day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And continue your introduction.
Yes, sir. My hobbies are reading books and watching animes, and I also
Watching
animes.
animation,
Yes, sir.
cartoons.
No, sir, it's
Animated.
not a typical cartoon, but sir, when Japan, it belongs to Japan. When Japan makes animation, it is called anime. And sir, I also like to watch movies and the web series. And
Web series. Do you,
Yes,
do you like web series? What kind of web
Yes.
series?
sir, I like adventurous and shonen
Which
type of.
web series did you watch recently?
Sir, I watched 2 web series on Hotstar. One is The Empire, which is all about the Mughals and the story of Babur. And second one is Moon Knight, which belongs to the Marvel Studios, and it is connected to the Avengers.
So did you watch the web series in English language or Hindi?
Both.
Both.
Yes, sir. I watched Moon Knight in English and watched The Empire in Hindi.
So Empire web series is belongs to India or somewhere else?
So it belongs to Mughal period.
Mughal period,
Yes, sir.
ancient India. From ancient
It is
India.
yes, sir. In Empire, it's the story about Babur, how he invaded India, what was his past, and how did he
How many episodes are there?
So there are 8 episodes.
Okay. When did the web series release?
So it released in 2021.
In 21. Should I watch it?
Yes, sir. It's worth watching if you have interest in history.
Okay. How many episodes are there?
8 episode and running time is around 40 minutes to 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So about your study. So
Yes.
from your English subjects, how many chapters you have completed?
Sir, in English, I have completed 2 chapters. One is first and third chapter, and their names are The Letter to God, and the second one is The First Flight.
Okay, the first flight. And did you read the chapter from the 2 stories of flying?
Yes, sir.
Blake Aeroplane.
Yes, sir.
And also there is another chapter. The name of the chapter is Seagull.
Seagull. Yes, sir.
The first flight.
The first flight.
Okay.
The common name of chapter is the stories of
flying.
Two flight.
To flying.
To
Okay.
flight.
So tell me the story of first flight.
So sir, it is story about a seagull who is so afraid of flying and couldn't gather up the courage to fly. Once he was standing on the edge of cliff and trying to fly, but he was very nervous and couldn't make it. Even his wings were far larger than his siblings, but he couldn't gather up the strength to fly. His siblings were flying, and his parents were also praising them and taunting him for not.
So his parents were praising whom?
His siblings, his sister and
Okay.
brothers.
So they were flying, but
Yes, sir.
the seagull which you are
Yes,
talking
sir.
about, that was
Yes, sir.
he was not
Yes,
flying.
sir. Yes, sir. He was not able to fly.
He was not able to fly. Why?
Sir, because he was unable to gather courage and he was unable to control his. Sir, he was like very afraid. He was unable to control his emotions. And sir, so.
So did he finally fly?
Yes, sir.
How?
Sir, he was compelled to fly when he left alone by his parents for 24 hours and he was not given any kind of food. So he got so maddened, and when her mother came picking up a fish in her beak, she intended that his son is very starving and he would try to snatch it. So, and that what exactly happened. The little seagull dived straight at the fish and fell from the cliff. He thought that his wings would not support him. He closed his eyes and he thought his heart had stopped. But suddenly, when he opened his eyes, he spread his wings and he came to know that he is flying. He overcame his.
And you read the chapter Black Aeroplane also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So describe me, tell me how was the narrator feeling at the time when he was in the storm, when he was surrounded by the clouds. At that time, how was he feeling, and what are the things which happens? There are some instruments which were not working. So tell me about that.
Yes, sir. When narrator saw the storm, it was about 150 kilometers before landing to the England, and his plane had no enough fuel to reach the England if he take a circle, if he do not pass through the storm. But he took the risk because, sir, he knew that if he didn't make to England through the storm, he wouldn't reach and his fuel tank will get empty. So sir, when he entered the storm, he thought that he would get past easily, but
but he could back to from where he was coming.
Paris.
So he could back to Paris.
Yes, sir. That thought also crossed his mind that he could turn around and go to Paris, but he wanted a breakfast with his family in the England.
So because of that breakfast,
Yes, sir.
he took a risk.
Yes, sir. He said, "I will take the risk," and went straight into the storm. Then, sir, he thought that it was easy and he will get past through it, but it wasn't the case. He got stuck in the storm, and sir, instruments like compass, radio were.
What is the compass?
So compass is instrument which which is used to show direction. It has needle which is red in color, which faces towards the north, and through that we can identify in which direction we are going. And secondary, his radio was also disconnected, which he uses to connect with the control center of both Paris and England.
Then how did he reach safely? Did
Yes,
he
sir.
did he land safely?
Yes, sir. In the storm, he lost all his hope, but suddenly he saw a black aeroplane. But it has no lights on its wings. But he could see the face of the that pilot in the another aeroplane, and like he was waving his hand and telling him to follow me. Then he put his aeroplane in front of Old Dakota and signed him to follow him. Then the pilot followed the black aeroplane, and suddenly they were coming out of storms. And sir, when he saw the black aeroplane, when he saw behind him, there was nothing. He landed the airport safely. Then he immediately ran to the control center and asked a girl who used to work there, who is that who was in the another aeroplane. There was a black aeroplane, but sir, he wanted to thank the aeroplane's pilot who guided him. But sir, that girl looked him very puzzled look, and she was like, what are you talking, man? There was no another aeroplane. She said, you are the this plane. Old Dakota was the only aeroplane which is flying tonight, and there was no other aeroplane in this storm. So then he thought, who was that person? And the chapter ended there.
Okay, thank you so much. So next, your introduction.
Good morning.
Wait for a minute. Continue.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank sir for giving me this golden chance to introduce myself. And I am Bhumika Sharma, and I am in class 10th. I study in New Sunrise Convent Higher Secondary School, Binaganj, and I am 15. And I live in Chanchora, and I like to play karate, and I am very fond of karate. I am really fond of karate. That's all about it.
Do you go to karate classes?
No, not yet, because of Corona. Our teacher was shifted. Our teacher was going to Biaura, and now vacations is going on, so he don't come here.
It doesn't come here.
Huh.
That's why. So whenever you will come, at that time you will join the classes.
Yes.
So you are very fond of karate.
Yes.
So apart from this, do you have any another hobby?
Yes, I have hobbies. I like to drawing and dance, and I draw many pictures in the lockdown and vacations.
Okay. So did you read the chapter Black Aeroplane?
Yes, I have read it.
So what was the mysterious thing about the incident? Like there was a black aeroplane, and when the pilot asked the lady about the plane, then she was looking at him strangely and behaving like there was no other airplane. So what was that? What do you think?
There was nothing. This was only a thinking of pilot who was thinking that this is my last day and I will not, and this is also last day of passengers. He was thinking that this is the last day of his life, but there was nothing. He imagined the aeroplane, and he thought there was an aeroplane. And he asked to lady about the aeroplane. He also said that there was no any other aeroplane on the radar.
So there was no error, it was only his imaginations.
Yes.
Okay. So and you have read the chapter A Letter to God.
Yes, I have read.
So why did he write a letter to God?
Because he want pesos. He don't have any food to eat. He does not have any food to eat, and his family also don't have any food to eat. So he write a letter to God for 100 pesos.
Okay. So did he get money?
Yes, he get money. He
got
got money. but he post the letter in the post office, and the postmaster saw the letter, and firstly he laughed, and when he read the letter he become very serious, and he thought that I have collected the money for him, or Lencho's faith was very great in God, so he did not want to set Lencho's faith in God, so he collect money with his employees and also his salary part, and he put the money, but he was able to only collect 70 pesos, and he put the money in the envelope, and next day Lencho come, so he gave that him. But Lencho don't know that who sent this money. Lencho know that God sent that money to him.
Okay, God sent them money. Okay. So tell me, how do you study your English subject?
I study from English Seekers.
Okay. And how do you study? How do you study here and at home? How do you learn question answer? What you do first, then next, then next?
First I read chapters, and then
So do you read chapter, or your teacher reads chapter or explain chapter? Do you read chapter or your teacher?
frequent I also read chapter, and frequently our sir also teach us, also explain us about the chapter. And then first I read chapter, and then I make a summary of this chapter, and then we understand I understand from YouTube also this chapter, and then I try to solve the question answers.
You try to solve question answers. Okay. If you find any word difficult, if you find the word meaning, difficult, and you don't know the meaning, then what do you do?
First I search the word on Google or MacTap app, but MacTap app. But I don't find, if I don't find, so I ask to my teacher.
Okay. So no, actually there is an application which is InkKhoj application. It is a dictionary, and I think it is a perfect dictionary, and you can find any word meaning of any word. So it is a perfect, and you should install it. Okay, next.
Good morning everyone, my name is Astha Khandelwal. I am from Binaganj. My school name is New Sunrise Convent Higher Secondary School. I am in 10th class. I am 15 years old.
Okay. So did you read any chapter, because it is your second day?
Yes.
So did you read any chapter?
Yes, I read third chapter.
You read third chapter. Okay. Which what is the chapter all about?
The story is about two flying.
Two flying. So there are two stories. So how many stories did you read?
Both.
You read both the stories. Okay. So explain me the story of the birds.
The words.
The seagull.
The whole story.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a bird seagull. He was afraid to flying. There was he lived with his family. There was he have two brothers and one sister. So he was too afraid to flying, or her family was taunted him and threatened if he not flying, they will not give him food and at all. So he have better wings than his family. He was trying, but he was not able to get the courage to fly. So his brother and sister also starting flying, and his family were flying, and he was sitting alone. He was left alone. Once his family left alone for more than 24 hours, and the seagulls didn't eat anything. So she was very hungry. Then she saw her mother was coming fish. She have fish and coming towards the seagull. Seagull was so excited. She was thinking that the mother took fish for her and for him. Then she goes towards her and she forgot that she have a fear of flying. He had a fear of flying, and she was dying into the water. And then she think that she was died. Her heartbeat was stopped. Then suddenly she was start flying. So from then her fear is stopped and she was
So
starting to fly.
tell me your strategy, that how do you study?
How I am. So I also because this is my second day. So I also learn from YouTube and I see videos from YouTube.
Okay, so you take the help of YouTube and then you learn.
I also
About the all other subjects like maths and social science.
now I
how do
don't start anything.
You haven't started yet. Okay, so you will start. Okay, next. Your introduction.
Hi, I am Aarti Vishkarma and I study in 10th class and I live in Binaganj. My school name is New Sunrise Convent Higher Secondary School, Binaganj.
Okay, so did you read the chapter?
Yeah, I read half chapter.
You read half chapter. Which chapter?
The first flight.
The first flight. So the first flight, there are about the seagull or the black aeroplane?
About seagull.
Seagull. So you read half chapter only.
Because I don't have book, that's
You
why.
don't have book. That's why you didn't read the chapter. Okay. So and it is also your second day.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you will explain me the story of
Yeah.
seagull and the black aeroplane. Okay. So about, as I asked them their strategy, so you will also tell me or share with us your strategy, that how do you study at home? How do you study not English but all subjects like maths, social science, Hindi and Sanskrit? Sanskrit is also there. There is no Sanskrit.
No, sir. In CBSE, you can choose between Sanskrit and Hindi. There we get opting. So my whole class chose Hindi.
Okay, so there is no Sanskrit.
So there.
Very good. Continue. How do you study? How do you study?
Sir, there is not any perfect plan of my study, but sir, whenever I get free, I just pick up my book and start reading. Firstly, I believe in reading, sir. By reading, you can get many words, and I thoroughly read whole chapter and understand its concept. And if I don't get it, I just simply go on YouTube and watch its video. And sir, about maths, it's all about practicing. Sir, I am doing trigonometry now and practicing about trigonometry. I have a book called R.D. Sharma, which is so popular, and it has many sums related to CBSE boards which had came in past years. So I practice them. And for English, I am doing English here at your coaching. And for SST, sir, my SST sir has given some map work to me. Actually, my whole class. So, sir, I was.
So you are, but now summer vacations are going on. So,
Sir, my school sir gave summer homework too.
okay.
Yes, sir. They have given so much summer homework, and in science they have given a project about sustainable management and conservation of forest, wildlife, and water. So I am making that project right now, and I just yesterday I had completed SST map work. And sir, for Hindi I am not doing it because sir, I don't have much interest in that, and yeah, that's so.
Okay. So how will you prepare for Hindi? How will you study Hindi?
Sir, firstly, when my Hindi teacher will explain the chapter, I will understand it, and I
So you will not understand the chapter by yourself.
Sir, I don't have interest in Hindi, sir. Like when I read it, I get really sleepy. I really get dizzy, and sir, I just put it away and start reading another book.
Okay. Very good. Next, your plan, your strategy.
To be honestly, I don't study at home. Sometime I study, not daily.
Sometime you study?
I don't study.
Okay.
To be honestly, that I sometimes study means usually I use maths book because I like maths and I like maths a lot. That's why just I read it's 1.1 exercise only and that's all my about study because
I also didn't study at home because I don't have books.
Very
You
honest
don't,
person.
very honest person. So you don't have books. That's why you don't study.
Yes.
You don't study at home at all.
Only English I can study.
You study only English.
Yes.
Apart from English, you don't study any other subject.
No.
Okay. So because I asked you to study. Only
No,
that.
I study because I want to perfect my English,
Hmm.
and English is very useful in our life.
And also in your in your 10th class because you belongs to English medium school.
Yes.
So your
That's why
social,
I
science,
also-
maths, all.
In English.
So do you have as you told me that which subject will you choose? Do you have Sanskrit?
Yes.
Do you have Sanskrit or Hindi?
Sir,
You don't
I
know.
don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Did you study Sanskrit?
No.
You haven't studied Sanskrit in your school.
No.
You haven't studied Sanskrit in your
I
entire-
study in 8th and 9th standard, but I don't like Sanskrit.
You don't like Sanskrit. So yes, the main important thing is reading. Whether if you read book, you will get vocabulary. You will understand it, what is written there, and also if you read social books, then you will also empower your vocabulary. You will expand your knowledge. Okay, so reading is the most important thing. And the another thing is that if you are not able to understand anything, any chapter, then you can go for YouTube and you can ask to your teachers if they can help you. Definitely they'll help you. So but the most important thing is reading. Why? Because it improves our knowledge and vocabulary. Okay, so let's sum up the class, and your tomorrow homework will be like we have done 3 chapters. Okay, so then we'll discuss next chapter. Okay.